Hey, folks peeps, I'm here to talk about another skill that might be helpful. Lately, we've been talking a lot about trauma, grief, this thing called acceptance. And so I just want to talk a little bit more about that. It's a pretty common reaction for us when something's really distressing or overwhelming to avoid it and or struggle with these distressing thoughts and feelings. And so acceptance is moving towards just being more present with these thoughts and feelings without having to avoid or struggle with them. And it's not that you have to like the experience. It's not that if it's connected to things, you're not saying it's okay that those things happened, but that you're accepting this is your current experience in this moment. And so that kind of helps us not to struggle as much. And I have learned through a therapy called acceptance commitment therapy that in the long term, when we struggle or avoid these distressing feelings, it can end up numbing us, where we numb out even joy, or the other extreme where we really fuse with them and almost feel stuck. Both of these pretty common survival and protective responses in the moment, but we want to learn how to move towards being with them in a different way in the long term, because it kind of continues to disconnect us from our core selves and our values and who we are. So fusing is a term to describe when we really become hooked by these distressing thoughts and feelings and they just take over. So today I'm going to do a little hand exercise to talk about a concept called defusion. I might have talked about this before, but it's a good one, and there's many ways we can fit it into things we're already doing in our lives. So diffusion is a skill where we can learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without dismissing them or fusing with them. We're just accessing what ACT would call our observing self or a higher consciousness, where I kind of think this is where we connect with our spiritual selves and God more to give us more flexibility and perspective. So really common thought that many of us have that's a pretty heavy one to have is like, I'm not good enough, right? And when we really feel this, we are fused with it. So let's pretend this is the thought we're having right now in this moment. So put your hands together and put them really close up to your face. And kind of look around and notice, you have a very limited perspective in what you can see around you. Well, keep your hands, close together, but pull them away from your face and down here. So we're not getting rid of the thought that I'm not good enough, but now I can see so much more things, and that thought is still there. So diffusion is anything that helps us to be able to get to that place. Even saying, I'm noticing I'm having a thought of, I'm not good enough, instead of saying, I'm not good enough. That's kind of a sign that maybe we're really fused with that thought. And so just when we can do this, I think we can get to a different perspective, or again, we can take a look at our values. How do we want to show up? And also be curious. Why was that there? What experience that I've had that maybe, made me really internalize and fuse with that? And so we're kind of learning things that maybe many of us didn't get. So this is a reminder too, that if you're so fused with these thoughts and distressing experiences so much that it's hard to even do this skill to observe your thoughts and feelings without getting really hooked by them, and it all still will happen to us, but we just hopefully could do it less as we implement some of these skills. You'll want to really do some more of those grounding practices. So you can go back and look at some of the other videos I've done on more concrete grounding, which really just gets you present in the moment, in your environment, in your body, in order to be able to engage with yourself in a different way. So you want to kind of, let your body de-stress a little bit if it's really in that place.